everybody, and welcome to another episode of Insufficient Friends. I'm Kevin, she is Stevie.
Hi.
And I want to start off just by saying Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there.
Happy Mother's Day.
A special shout out to my mom because it's also her birthday.
Aw, what's her name?
Katie.
Shout out Katie. Happy birthday.
So I won't say how old she is because that's not very
Please
nice,
don't,
but she's definitely young to have a son that is old as I am. So, but happy Mother's Day, Mom. Happy birthday. Love you. And we'll, what?
Do the applause.
Oh, hold on.
We're still figuring that out.
Oh, nope, that's still that. Hold on. That's not what I want. Where's the applause? There it is.
Happy Mother's Day and happy birthday, Katie.
Okay. Well, I wasn't expecting that, so that's just all of a sudden you start pointing at things. Oh, whatever. Anyway.
Thought we had a other system.
Yeah, well, we're still working on it.
Yeah.
We're only, 3
Episode
months
13?
in? 2 months in? Something like that. I don't know.
We're about 3 months in.
3 months in?
We started in February.
Beginning of February. It's the beginning
And
of May now. Yeah.
Middle of May almost.
True. It's which is crazy. It seems like it was just Christmas.
And I just now finally watched a movie that you
Yes. Yes, you watched first movie that I've ever recommended that
Dr.
you've
Strangelove.
watched, Dr. Strangelove. What did you think, Steve?
So I'm a little disappointed.
Okay.
It's
I mean, it's kind of weird.
It was hard for me to follow. I don't think
it's kind of
it would have ever been something like. It's not my genre.
I get it.
It's a bunch, it's older and like I love older movies and I even like black and white movies, but I also prefer like kind of like my favorite genre of movie is like something that's kind of goofy and something that's kind of like I like movies that are really colorful, lots of stuff going on, and this was black and white and it was pretty much just a bunch of men talking to each other. And is it like a war movie?
It's kind of like a I would call it like a satirical thing. Like it's
sure.
Because there was a lot of like kind of weird dark humor in it with the whole idea of like almost like basically a Cold War vibe, like a nuclear war type thing. So
right, and war movies have never really been my favorite. So
I can understand.
And
that
there was a little bit of that. There was like it was just all these men talking with the same accent and the same voice for like
I mean, I get it.
I
get it. It's a kind of a weird movie.
Yeah,
but
the ending was
you
interesting.
checked one off the IMF list though, so
there you go.
You had to watch it anyway since you're trying to get done with that list. So
exactly. Thank you.
Yeah, that I get that. Like that's. I mean, I like colorful movies and things too, but I sometimes want to watch like that classic, what's considered like a classic type movie, because that one is. I mean,
sure.
But I don't know.
I'm glad I watched it and got it. Crossed it off the list.
Yeah. Okay. So how was your what was it? How was your week?
It was good. I do have a fun story that happened this week.
Okay, what happened?
For the listeners. And this is it's a heartwarming story about how there's still good people in this world. So on Thursday night, I was out with some friends, and when I got home that night, I realized I didn't have my card holder that I had brought out with me. And it was just like a little Coach, like it only had my ID and a credit card in it. So not like all my things, but clearly I don't want that missing.
Yeah.
So I figured I left it at the bar we were at, and I was like, whatever, next day I'll go back. I'm sure they have like a lost and found. This probably happens all the time. And I just woke up the next morning and I was like, I don't have a good feeling about this. Like I should probably be prepared to like have to get new stuff. And, I locked my card on the app, whatever. And so I go over to the bar around like 1 was when they opened. And I was like, hey, I think I left my ID here. Like, can I look for it? And we looked for a while, and they had a few different, like, lost and found spaces, and it is just nowhere in there. And I'm like, okay. I was so convinced I left it at the bar that I was like, oh, someone just took it.
Yeah.
Surely that's what happened.
Okay.
And so I'm feeling pretty defeated, like, I have to go freaking get a new ID. Like, I don't want to be driving without an ID. And so, like, now I can't do that. And I had to get my birth certificate from my dad, which that's not necessarily an easy exchange. So trying to figure all that out. Now one of my credit cards is gone. I'm just, like, bummed out about it.
Yeah.
And that was at, like, 1:30 when I finally, like, got back home. And then I'm on Instagram. This is at, like, 3 or 3:30. And I never do this, but I checked my like message requests, which I don't get notifications for those. You only get notifications if it's like a mutual like friend or like someone that you follow. And I go and I see that I have a request, and it's a girl
That found your...
from the night before saying, "Hey, I found your wallet on the sidewalk."
Oh, that's nice.
And I was like, the first thing I said to her was, "Shut up, you're lying," which is very rude to say to someone who just told you they found your wallet. And then I was like, "Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Like, how can I get this from you?" She was like, "Yeah, no problem. Like, I live in this apartment downtown. You can come by and I'll just hand it to you." So I got her like a Starbucks gift card and I was like super thankful.
That's nice.
But the crazy thing is, she messaged me and she was like, "By the way, like, I'm moving tomorrow, like forever." Like, she graduated.
Yeah.
She's done with Columbia. She was about to literally move forever.
Yeah.
And if I would not have checked those requests, I might have never seen that wallet again.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what are the odds? One, that someone stumbled upon my wallet that was actually a good person and not like someone that was just going to keep it or, try to use my card, sell it, whatever.
Yeah.
Someone that actually was a good person. She found me. And the fact that I checked my requests, which I
never do.
Yeah. And saw her in there. And I was like, I'm still in shock, honestly, that I have it. I'm so grateful. So shout out to her. Her name was Taylor. Very sweet.
Okay.
There are still good people in this world.
Did you start to listen to the podcast?
No.
Oh, okay.
I think she had done enough for me. No more favors. Also,
okay.
I do have another shout out for my friend. His name is Sawyer Bohannon, and he does a photography business, Bohannon Photography. He is also a listener. He listens to every episode.
Oh, fun.
He was also our first comment ever on
Okay.
the podcast app. So
Nice.
shout out Sawyer. I saw
Sawyer.
him last weekend. He did my graduation pictures for me, and they're gorgeous. I love them.
Yeah.
So if you are in the Columbia area and you need a photographer, Bohannon Photography. Get him while you can, because I think he's moving soon.
Okay.
But I hope he listens. Shout out Sawyer.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, anything else? I mean,
What about you?
I continued my hatred of birds.
Okay. I relate to that. Birds are scary.
So, mine isn't scare as much. They just annoy me.
Okay.
And I don't know if I ever sent this to you, but we'll post it on our Instagram or Facebook or something. I'll link to it. But there's a video of a comedy show where a guy did like a whole 5 minutes on birds one time, and it's
Do
just
you know who the comedian was?
it's John Oliver. It
Oh,
was part of
yes.
his Last Week Tonight. It was like a little side.
Oh
thing
yeah, I
that
know
he did
John
one of
Oliver.
them. And I don't remember if I ever showed you that, but it's I love it because it's hilarious and it embodies my feeling towards birds. But I got crapped on by a bird as I was walking into my apartment the other
no.
day. The 15 feet, and I told my dad about this because this is an ongoing thing with me. It's happened to me. It happened to me at Disney World once. It's happened to me downtown in Columbia. It's happened to me several times over the course of my life. But the 15 feet that it takes me to walk from my car to the front door of my apartment, I got crapped on by a bird.
That's crazy.
I don't understand why it keeps happening. It's been a while. I was thinking about it the other day, and I'm like, it's been a while since this happened. I don't remember why I was thinking about it. And then it happened to me again. And it's just...
I'm not
I don't even get it.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't know anyone else who's ever been crapped on by a bird.
Oh, it's happened to me.
Cars for sure. But
It's happened to me at least 4 or 5 times in my life, and I'm sure it's more than that. But me and my dad had a good laugh about it. I don't. They say it's good. I've heard that it's good luck. If that's true, then I ought to be the luckiest person in the world. I should go play the lottery today because I should win $1 billion.
honestly, yeah.
But it just
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Quite honestly.
So that was fun. But yeah, other than that, I didn't really do much.
Yeah, it was a pretty average week for me as well. Our friends, though, Kenzie and Justice, there's going to be a little leech running around.
There's gonna be a little leech.
Yeah.
Well,
I
congratulations.
don't know if they listen, but
That's
shout
fun.
out Kenzie and Justice.
Yeah.
I knew that, like,
I saw that she posted something on Facebook. I get like tech emails when I get those, but I haven't actually looked.
and I know you're not really on social media that
Facebook,
much, so
but-
like I was like, oh, I'll have to tell Kev about
Yeah,
that.
that's
'Cause I know. So
fun.
congratulations,
Okay,
Kenzie
yeah,
and Justice.
congratulations to those two. That's fun.
So exciting.
Yeah,
They'll be good parents.
That's awesome.
I know. Happy for them.
We have to go see them sometime.
I know. I haven't seen them in so long.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fun. That's awesome. Everybody's doing things, moving. It's graduations, all that kind of stuff. It's all fun. That's fun.
That time of year.
Yeah. So what else? You texted me last week after we did this, and you told me that you wanted to talk about Ick. Is it
Yes.
ick? Is that how you
Yes.
say it?
Yes. And I want to explain.
ICK.
ICK. So first of all, if I wouldn't have given you that context, would you have known what I meant by let's come up with icks for each other? Have you
I
heard
thought it
that
was.
before?
No, I've never
Okay.
heard that before. I would have figured it was something like. I mean, I could have probably got there eventually.
Yeah.
I figured it was something like, yeah, that I didn't, that I thought you did that was weird or
Yeah,
something like that.
okay.
Which, I mean, kind of is what you explained it to me as.
Sure. So the original, like how this, like the ick kind of originated on like social media from my knowledge, it was a big trend for a while, probably like 2 years ago is when it like really surfaced on the internet as like something that like girls would talk about. And it's kind of mean, but basically like something a guy would do that like gave you the ick. And you were just kind of like, oh, okay, I don't really like them anymore. Like not your boyfriend, but maybe a guy you're just kind of like starting to date.
Okay.
And you're like getting to know them and they either like do something or say something, kind of like a red flag.
Yeah.
And they
Okay,
do
that
it and
makes
then you're
sense.
like, ooh, okay, I don't think this is gonna work out. Like he gave me the ick. It's like a sickness. Like, you can't get rid of it. You're done now.
Okay.
And then there was the most recent like trend of it is like two people just like naming their icks for each other, and it's like two sisters or boyfriend and girlfriend or brother and sister, parent and kid or whatever. And so I thought it'd be fun if we came up with icks for each other, and
Okay,
it's completely out of love and
Yeah.
respect. And
Yeah, I guess mine.
no
I
animosity
didn't think of
here.
it that way, so I didn't think of. I just think of it as weird things that you do. That
It's
that
this
confuse the
honestly, I
crap out of
think it
me.
is the same. Like
Okay.
that will be just fine.
Okay.
I also need to know how many you have. I hope we have. The
I only
same.
have one, but it's kind of all encompassing.
Oh no! You're supposed to
it's-
come up with multiple.
Okay, well, I mean, I could probably come up with a few, but
Okay.
on the spot. But mine is kind of one that's all encompassing, and it's not just you; it's a lot of people.
Okay.
It's like for everyone.
Okay. Well, I have 5. But they're not like I need to say this isn't meant to be mean. Like it'll make us laugh. It's not.
Okay. Okay. So who wants to go?
I'll go first. Probably makes sense. So, my first one is just you keep your house very cold.
Yeah.
So that's an ick for me.
Okay. Yeah. We've had this conversation before. I get warm very easily.
I know, and
so-
that's fine, but just
Yeah, I understand. You're cold.
it's freezing every
Yeah.
time I walk in, and that's fine. I'm used to it.
Yeah.
Okay, what's yours?
Mine is again, I say, all encompassing for a lot of people,
Mm-hmm.
and it's food, just food in general. With you, like you don't you don't like gravy.
Okay, so that's one ick though.
Is that one?
That would be an ick. That
Okay.
I either I don't like it / I refuse to try
don't
it
like
more.
That's the big one, is refusing to try it, and I don't know if that's. I mean, if you want to count that as one,
That
it's
is,
just okay.
for sure.
So refusing to try foods.
Okay,
That's the big one.
that's one.
And that's I know a lot of people that are that way, and I
Yeah.
don't get it because I'm like, how do you know that you won't like it?
For me, when we talk about gravy, I just
I
and
know you don't like the way it looks.
but I have like it's. I think if something tells me I have tried it once before in my life. It's kind of like soup, so maybe one day I'll come around. But I feel like I have a memory being a kid and I had like school gravy, which is probably not great. It's probably like a bowl of gray mush.
Yeah.
And I just feel like I have a memory of like kids eating it and it was just gross. And like now I'm
Okay.
like done forever.
Okay. Yeah, it's the
But
the
maybe
not
one
trying
day,
thing.
maybe one day I'll see it and it'll look really good, just like the French onion soup did. And
Yeah.
Look where I am today. I've had 3 soups now.
What are the two you've had? You've had French onion.
I've had broccoli cheddar.
Okay.
I had it was like I think it was lobster bisque or a seafood bisque, but it
Okay.
was, that one honestly might be my favorite.
Okay. Good.
Delicious.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. What's another one that you
Okay.
have? Let's keep going here.
You don't like the combination of sweet and salty together. That's a
In
huge,
general, no.
that's an ick for me, gotta say. And every time we talk about it, I forget and I'm reminded, I'm like, God, I can't get behind that. I've always loved anything sweet and salty I'll put together.
Yeah,
almost.
I just don't. In general, like there
Yeah.
are exceptions to that rule.
But you're not mixing your cheddar and your caramel popcorn.
No.
Oh, that's the best. You get those little like tin buckets.
Yeah, I
during
know what you're
Christmas
talking
time.
about.
You have the white cheddar, the butter, and the caramel.
Yep.
Handful of each.
Nope.
Get that caramel in there with the butter. So
Nope.
good to me. I know, and it's every time we talk about it, I'm just like, God, you're missing out.
The extent of my salty sweet is like if I get like a salted caramel.
I was gonna say that I think I know because that's that's its own thing. It's more sweet than anything. Also, it's just like the salt is kind of just
It's just
added.
it's just a little addition. But that's about the extent of it. I'm not a salty sweet person together. I never
Crazy.
have. I do like the other thing is I do like the pigs in a blanket, like the breakfast ones, the pancake wrapped sausage wrapped
Okay.
pancake that you dip in like
Yeah.
maple syrup. I do like that.
That's kind of like sweet and savory. Yeah.
Kind of. But yeah, I'm not a big salty and sweet fan. I don't like chocolate covered pretzels or things. I don't like any of that kind of
Dude.
stuff.
That's my fave.
I love pretzels. I love chocolate.
know,
Don't like them
I know.
together. Yeah, I just
Crazy.
don't.
But okay, to each their own.
Yeah. For you, I don't know. I didn't really come up with that many. That's the only thing I really thought of. I'm sorry.
What about like my feelings toward like hotter weather?
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, the sitting in your hot car. No, that's for sure.
That's a Nick.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Honestly,
you
I
sitting in
agree.
your hot car when
agree.
it's 1,000 degrees outside, and you go sit in the car that's the black car that has been baking in the sun for 5 hours, and you just sit there. Just sit there.
Literally,
It
okay.
amazes me.
So there's been a few times. So when Kevin, I don't know if we've talked about this, whatever. Whenever Kevin and I still work together, during the summer times, our branch that we worked in, to me, would get really cold.
It can.
Because the AC would be kicking. It's a small little building. Like, it would just, and I would usually wearing like a dress or short sleeves because it was summertime and I'd get really cold. And on my lunch break, I would just go sit in my car for a little bit. Sometimes it would be on, sometimes I'd have the windows down, but there has been probably 2 or 3 times I just sat in there. And there was one time where like my phone almost was like glitching because my phone got so hot.
Yeah.
And I was still sitting in there.
You would come back into the branch
red.
like with your face red
Yeah.
because it was so hot.
Yeah, I
And
just love it. I love the feeling of a hot car if I'm cold. Not if I'm already hot, but if I'm cold and I just go and just submerge myself in the heat of a car.
No, like here's
such
here's
a
the
good
thing.
feeling.
It's fine if it's like I don't have a problem with it. I think we discussed this. I don't have a problem with it if it's like February
Yeah.
and it's like sunny
Cooking
and your
in the
car gets
sun,
warm
yeah.
and it's kind of like 30 or 40 degrees outside and then you can feel the difference. That's fine because it's not as bad.
Right.
But when it's already 1,000 degrees and humid outside and then you get into a car that has been baking in the sun that's probably 150 degrees, no thanks.
I don't know what to say to you. Yeah, it's a Nick. I get it. And I don't know how I do it every time.
I don't know.
I love it.
Okay. Anyway.
Okay. Oh my gosh. This one I think is it's not like, this one is the one that I get the least. Like, this still doesn't make sense to me that you do this. But you don't really drink caffeine. Like, you don't really like coffee. You don't do energy drinks. And you sleep less and work more than anyone that I know. And you're not, like, a coffee drinker. And
no.
it just blows my mind because I think I'm dependent. I think my life depends on if I have coffee or not.
Yeah, but I think you've also probably gotten to that point because you started drinking coffee.
Exactly. But
Yeah.
it's so, I don't know. And you're right. Like, if you don't miss something you never had.
Yeah. I've never been, I mean, I used to drink more soda a lot more soda than I do now. And that would have been caffeine, but it
Yeah.
doesn't have nearly as much caffeine as like a coffee or something.
Right.
I drink a lot of water.
Yeah.
I mean,
I do too,
I
but
don't-
I love just like that morning kickstart. And I like
cup of Joe.
I've always loved energy drinks too.
I've never been
Even
an
as like
energy
a
drink
kid,
fan.
my parents were like, I don't know if they, whatever. But like I just thought I would go to like the skating rink on like a Friday night with my friends in like
Yeah.
middle school, and I would get a green Monster, and I just was like, that was my favorite drink in the world. You couldn't tell me otherwise. I loved
Yeah.
just something about it. Like,
I've tried some energy drinks before. There was one that I liked when I was in high school that was okay, but it was a limited edition thing, so it didn't last very long.
yeah,
It was only out for like 6 months or something.
yeah,
And I had a few of those over that time, but overall, most of the energy drinks that I've tried, I haven't liked. So
Yeah.
it's not like I just don't care for it. It never really, the caffeine in it, I never really noticed that it did anything for me either. So it didn't, when I did drink one, it
Yeah.
never really seemed to do anything.
Sure.
So I don't know. The caffeine that I get is, like I said, if I have a soda or something, or
I like tea.
tea. I do like tea. I don't drink a ton of tea, but I mean, not as nearly as much as I used to, but I do like tea.
Yeah.
a nice cup of hot tea is really nice when you're just sitting on a cold day or something. But
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it just got like ingrained in me at a young age, and like you said, if I never would have started drinking it, I wouldn't be like this now. But
Yeah.
I'll try to like go. Sometimes I'll try to go a few days without it, or just do it like every other day, because I don't want to get to a point where it stops doing what I need it to do, and then I'm like, I'm just.
Now, when you stop drinking coffee, or like stop drinking caffeine,
Yeah.
do you get headaches? Like, do you start to get headaches like that? Have you gotten to that point where it's okay?
Not really, because even when I drink an energy drink, it's like a sugar-free Red Bull that only has like 70 milligrams of caffeine, or like a Starbucks iced latte that also only has like, it's like less than 100 milligrams of caffeine, versus like most energy drinks are like 200.
Yeah.
And that's like what people, or like 5 shots of espresso is like the norm for some people. They get a
Okay.
large drink from
Yeah.
Starbucks, and I get like 2 at most, and then sometimes I'm even like, ooh, that was a bit much.
Okay.
So I'm very lucky. I've never had any like withdrawal symptoms from caffeine.
Hey, man, it's a drug just like all the other ones. So,
Okay, so your turn.
I don't know. This.
Oh God.
I just thought of something. We didn't talk about this because it was in the episode that we kind of scratched a while back.
Oh, the forbidden episode.
Yes, the lost episode that might come out sometime. We talked about. I'm a very clean person. We've discussed this, and it's the setting. Was it setting your dustpan on the kitchen table after
I have
you?
hives. I'm itching. Don't bring this up.
I don't understand it. I don't understand. We have at work. We have people that will like set the recycling cans on top of their desk. I don't get it. Like you put your hands on it. You're constantly on it. You put your drinks on it. You might set your food on it, and you put your trash can on it. What are you doing?
I will say I've stopped. Like,
Okay.
I don't do that anymore. So
Okay.
what he's referring to, I used to, when I would like sweep when I clean my kitchen, I'm like, I deep clean it probably once a week, where I just take everything off the counters and wiping everything down and sweep and Swiffer, whatever. But there was a point in time where I would clean like my main counter, and then I had a kitchen table. Before I would clean that, I'd be sweeping, and I'd put the dustpan on the table because I'm about to clean it.
Yeah.
And Kev just thought that was the craziest thing, but now I put it on top of my like trash can lid.
Okay.
So gross is staying with the gross, and the tables are fine. They're not having dustpans on them anymore.
I just don't understand the setting of trash cans on any surface where you're going to be eating or putting food or anything like that. I never have understood it. I don't know. I'm a little bit of a.
You're
I'm
very
a little
clean.
bit
You're
of a
one of the
clean freak.
cleanest people I know.
A little bit of a freak.
Very germ.
I
I don't know if I'd call you a
germaphobe.
germaphobe, but
But
you identify with that then.
I mean, I can understand the reasoning behind it, but I mean, germs don't bother. Like it does. I'm not gonna make it worse than what it already is. Let's put it that
There
way.
you go.
Like
Yeah.
I mean, I work at a bank. I handle money every day.
Yeah.
I can't be that much of a germaphobe. 'Cause
Sure.
money is
sure.
disgusting.
Very true.
But yeah, so that one. There we go. That's fun.
Yeah, see, it's not too hard to find things about
Yeah,
me that you
yeah.
don't like.
Okay. What's
The next one is that you're an Android user.
The green text.
Yes.
Yes.
And like, if you send me like an article or something like from online, it's fine. But there's been times where you've sent me like videos or pictures you've taken on your phone,
Yeah,
and
they
they come in super blurry.
Yeah, but that does the same thing when you send it to me too.
Right.
The videos, the pictures are fine, but the videos when they come in, they're
So,
weird.
and that's just kind of like that's a cheap shot. That's low hanging fruit.
Yeah,
But
I don't
had to throw it in there.
I don't know why Android and Apple can't figure out a way to make videos go make it more
I know. Sometimes
like
iPhone, even iPhone to iPhone, like my friends will send me a picture, and if they didn't do it right, or it didn't load right or something, it'll get like really pixelated, and then we have to like resend it as a iMessage or whatever. Like I don't know.
yeah, I
Maybe
don't.
that's just big Apple making us want to buy the latest phone
I mean,
all the time.
that's possible. I mean, I'm not gonna say that Android's any better or Samsung's any better, but
Like sometimes if I'm running low on storage and someone sends me a picture, it won't even let me view it because I can't.
oh, see, I never run that low on storage on my phone.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of iPhone users have that issue.
How
We're
much
always
storage-
running out of storage.
How much storage do you have? I don't know how much storage you have. I think mine's got like 120 gigs or something.
Not that,
I don't
maybe
know.
half, maybe like 60.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. But I also don't store much on my phone. I have it all on a
I don't
server or something.
either.
So.
But I don't use iCloud. Like for a while, my dad and I had the same. We were using the same Apple ID.
Mm-hmm.
This is very niche. This is such a rant, but like, so if one of us would upload something to iCloud storage, it would go on the other person's phone, which like is not that big of a deal. But I would just have all these random pictures,
Well, yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
and like some of our texts would be going to the other person's phone. So I was like, okay, let's just not do any iCloud stuff.
Okay.
So it's just on our individual phones. But we recently changed that, so maybe I can now. I don't know. I'm just scared that if I don't know, but I don't like messing with it. I'm not that tech savvy.
Okay.
All right.
So the green texts are another one. Okay. Well,
Okay, I only have one more.
okay. I'll try to think of one here. Yeah, I don't, oh, okay. I've got one.
Go ahead.
And this goes to what kind of a couple weeks ago with the movie.
Oh.
It's the it's the this is gonna sound bad, but I don't want it to. It's the lack of dedication to do things when you're like, oh yeah, okay, let's do that, and then
sure.
it's just okay.
Yeah, call me out.
Yeah, it's that.
Tell me what it
that would
is.
be it.
I was gonna say, I wonder if he'll bring up me not watching movies he's suggested ever in my life.
The lack of. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, I'll do that, and then it never.
So I didn't do it. Basically.
Exactly.
Whoops.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's probably that one.
Okay, my last one is, and you really just have to like know Kev to get this one. I feel like our bank friends would get this. When you get surprised when someone doesn't know an absurd niche fact and you act like it's common fucking knowledge, like
Okay.
you'll be
Yeah, that happens sometimes.
like a crazy statistic about something. You'll be like, "Oh, you didn't know that?" No, why? That's not something I would have ever known. Or like something with like technology. No,
yeah,
it's okay.
I'm sorry.
Something with technology at work, like if something was wrong with my computer, something I've never heard of in my life and have no reason to have had this problem before, be like, Kev, this is kind of messing up. Like, do you know what it is? And then you're like, oh yeah, you just do this. And he does like 50 things that I've never seen before, as if I should just know how to fix all technology.
The technology thing. The technology thing specifically surprises me because all of you are younger than me. And I feel like, and I know we've had this discussion before on here, but it always amazes me when you guys are like, oh, well, I mean, you grew up with technology more than, I mean, I did too, but it was still a little more in its infancy than it is now. I didn't have a smartphone when I was a kid. I had a BlackBerry when I was in high school, but like they didn't have, that was before the first iPhone came out when I was in high school. So computers, you still had dial-up internet. We've talked about that. Things didn't work the same way as they do now. So it surprises me when people don't know technology, but I have the theory that people that are younger than me may not have as much common knowledge about technology because it's been made so simple, because it is gotten so much better.
I was just about to say, I feel like millennials, their generation is more like better with laptops and computers, and then my generation is better with just like a phone.
Yeah.
Like we could just figure out, oh, you want to do this? It's probably just hit this, hit that, do that. Versus a laptop. Okay, how often? Like if I never would have worked at the bank, I don't think I've ever used like a G drive or like
just like a computer like that.
Yeah, or anything like a files.
Yeah.
Application on a computer. I never would have needed that.
I get that.
So.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I understand that.
You live and you learn.
Yeah. I'm sorry if I do that.
No,
I don't mean to do that.
No, it's okay. It's funny. It's all out of fun. Will does it all the time too. He'll be like, "Oh, you didn't know this absurd history fact in the exact day that it happened?" I'm like, "No, only you do. Like no one else knows that. I'm not dumb. I promise."
Facts. So, I thought of this week, and this actually goes into what I was wanting to talk about. So, I had an idea for a segment for us to do.
Oh, okay.
But I'm concerned. I have a concern and this I guess could go into an ick with you too. Also, it's a couple. It's 2 in 1.
I feel like the icks might be a continuous thing now. Like every
It's
week we might be like, oh, I think that's an
yeah,
ick.
it's possible. But so my idea for a segment was like a fact of the week.
Okay.
But my concern, because last week we had a couple facts, and like we've done different facts every week.
Yeah.
And we've talked about things. My concern is that it won't be interesting, or you won't find it interesting to engage with it.
Wow.
Which is very possible.
Or I'm just going to come up with facts every week that I think are interesting and you're already going to know them all.
That too. That's another ick for
That's
me.
my...
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing I have no original thoughts. You already know everything.
I don't know everything. Not far from it.
No, that could be good.
But I thought it would be interesting. My only concern is if I don't know how we'd have to figure out a way to make sure that it would be interesting, and it would be something we could talk about.
Yeah.
Because like some of those random facts are just like, it's just like, oh, did you know this?
Right, and I
Done.
feel like we almost do that anyway.
We kind of do. We kind of throw them in all the time.
But we could like make a more of an effort to
Come up with something that's interesting.
I feel like we're starting to get more, except for last week. Last week we were kind of all over the place, but we're still coming into like a structure. It's like, okay, we kind of talk a little bit about what last week was, talk about movies or whatever we did, and then we kind of talk about our week, something that actually happened, and then we have like an actual subject that we go into.
Yeah.
For example, this week it was the Icks, and like we kind of already knew we were going to talk about that.
Yeah.
And now we're kind of like talking about towards the end of the podcast, we say, okay, so next week, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So we're kind of figuring this thing out, guys.
Yeah. We're
figuring out how we like to do it.
Yeah. Which is still kind of a hodgepodge of everything, but
It's okay.
we have fun.
Don't care.
So we have fun around here.
So should we give each other more movie suggestions for next week?
We can.
Okay. Okay.
What you said you like colorful movies. Do you like musicals?
Sometimes. There's some that I've been like, predictable, and then there's some that I've loved. Like Singing in the Rain, I could watch every day for the rest of my life.
Okay.
Sorry. What were you going to suggest? Because I have a movie I've been wanting to watch, and it is a musical, and I'm curious if...
Well, you said you like colorful things, and you like stuff like that. One of the most colorful movies that I think I've seen in the past several years, and I mean literally like a lot of color in it, which isn't normal for movies. Most of them are muted.
Yeah.
Was La La Land.
Oh, I've seen it.
Okay. And I really like that musical. I don't know if you liked it or not, but
I did fall asleep, but we know that is just that means nothing. That's just a me problem. That's a Nick. That's not the movie. That's me. But I ended up watching the ending later. Yeah, it's really good. I really like, Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone, hard to beat. I think they were really good together in it. And I did like that a lot. I've been really wanting to watch Sunset Boulevard.
Okay.
I feel like that's just it's been coming a lot up recently, just in like media, and like people have been referencing it a lot, and I just feel like
I don't think I've seen
Universe is telling me I need to watch it soon, but I
don't think I've seen that.
I'll make that suggestion for you once I've watched it.
Okay.
Or
we could both watch it.
Just watch the same movie.
Watch the same movie.
Okay.
I mean, if neither one of us have seen it, might as well.
Okay.
Sunset Boulevard.
Yeah, it's because it's a musical. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know that I've ever heard of it, so I don't know. But yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
Both watch that.
Let me see what it's on, because I'm not gonna lie, I don't want to spend $4 again, like I did last week.
Well, yeah, you said you weren't a big fan, so that makes sense if you didn't like it. Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, if it's not on anything, we can figure out something else. But I don't know.
I don't think it is.
Okay.
Have you seen the Kill Bill movies?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you seen My Girl with Macaulay Culkin?
No.
Okay, I'm suggesting My Girl for you.
Okay.
Get ready. Get your tissues.
Okay.
But
sad?
it's sad, but it's a great movie. I think the cast is really good.
Okay.
And it's a movie that I watched when I was just really young, and I just thought, like, I don't know, it's just cute. It's cute, but it's sad, but it's a good movie.
Okay. 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 I can do that.
Okay.
Let's see, something for you. Have you watched the Star Wars movies? Any of them? Have you watched them? I mean, I'm not necessarily going to recommend one of them.
Bits and pieces.
Okay. I don't know that that's something I really care for you to watch. And yeah, you're just shaking your head like I don't want to watch that.
No. I really don't.
What do you here? Well, let's do this because I prefer to do this anyway. What do you want? Like, do you want to watch comedy? Do you want to watch a drama? What do you want to watch?
Just no like action or war movie.
No action or war movie.
Yeah.
Okay. So a comedy or drama or whatever's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I watch a lot of action movies. I'm trying to think of something that I watch that's not really an action movie. Well, this is boring for everybody listening.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to look at the AMF list again?
Yeah, I can.
Or AFI, not
yeah.
AMF.
I don't. I don't know. I watch a lot of action movies. I'm realizing right now that I watch a lot of action movies. You've seen The Godfather, right?
Yes, I actually just watched Goodfellas last night.
Okay, that's a good.
They remind me of each other.
Well, this will go. Have you ever seen Fantasia?
No.
The old Disney movie?
Oh,
from the 40s?
Oh, yeah. Yes, but I don't. It's like literally. I think I watched it in like first grade.
Okay, because it's on it's on the list. Sunset Boulevard's on the list too.
Oh, really? Maybe I should just watch Sunset Boulevard. Maybe we should both just watch that.
I think we should just watch that. It's on there.
I'm sure I could find it. It's not the end of the world.
We can do that.
Okay.
Let's just watch that.
Watch Sunset Boulevard.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard really good things.
Have you? I'm just looking at the list too. I know you don't like action movies, but have you seen Indiana Jones? Any of the Indiana Jones movies?
Like once again, I think I watched it once when it was like playing at school. Like I was
playing at school.
Like we had like a movie day at school, and like that's what we picked. But I probably wasn't really paying attention. I was probably like talking to my friends.
Okay, because Raiders is on here, and I do love Raiders. Raiders is a good movie. It's a fun movie.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the new one. I don't know that it's going to be any good because Harrison Ford's like 1,000 years old now, but he's actually only like 82. But that's kind of old to be in a in a big time action film.
That's
but yeah, we'll just. Maybe we should just start going with one of these movies every week that neither one of us have seen and just get
Honestly,
through this
that's
list.
a good idea because I'm like been trying to get through this list for so long.
Yeah, well, let's do Sunset Boulevard.
Okay.
Both of us will watch it and we'll talk about it next week.
Sounds good to me.
I think that's a good place to end for this week. So,
like
again, everybody, happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there, and we'll talk to you guys next week.
Bye.